Hello everyone, this is Rabab Alma, licensed marriage and family therapist and international life coach. And I'll be talking today about guilt, feeling guilty. Um, I haven't been doing lives lately, it's been busy. But I've seen a lot of clients lately, and there is a common theme around guilt. And I thought it's a good idea to touch on it on these videos. I hope everyone is enjoying the rest, what's left in the summer. Some schools will start, I think, on Monday. Other schools will start after Labor Day weekend. So I hope and I pray that everyone will have a wonderful school year. It's crazy how the summer just went past so quickly. So I wanted to point out, as usual, that these lives are not meant for a medical or professional help. They are meant for general info only. I will go ahead and share them with my other pages, and let me know where are you contacting me from, and where are you joining me from. Let me see if I can share it with my other pages. So guilt, and I hear it often that people feel that they just say it often, I feel guilty, even with something they didn't do. Someone wronged them and they still feel guilty. And I think it's important to take a close look and see, why are we feeling guilty? What is the reason behind that feeling? And it's important to understand and to deal with it, because guilt can be, the underlying issue can be depression, anxiety, and other feelings that can really affect the person in their lives, whether in their family life or their careers or their children, with their spouses. So it's important to understand it and understand what's underneath that feeling. So what do you think of the feeling of guilt? Sometimes people come in and feel guilty about what happened to them in the past. They were bullied, they were in bad relationships, whatever it is, they still feel guilty. People sometimes still feel guilty about they have a very bad relationship or infidelity issue or whatever it is, and they still feel guilty. And that sometimes stems from the way this person was raised, or whatever messages they received in their childhood or in school from teachers, parents, elderly, or people they have authority in their lives. So, and we carry this guilt with us, and we feel bad about it, and we feel this deep sense of that we're not worthy. And if something happens or something wrong happens, we deserve it because of whatever guilt we feel. However, a friend of mine posted on her Instagram page and said that whatever you feel, this is not your burden to carry. And I loved that post of hers. It's that guilt, that load that we carry on our shoulder is not for us to burden ourselves for the rest of our lives. Romana, hi Romana, how are you? It's not for us to burden ourselves with that guilt. For how long are you gonna carry it? Even if we did something in the past, something wrong, and we all did. We're human beings, we do mistakes, we're not perfect. So we do mistakes. Are we gonna carry this? So good to see you, Romana. Thank you for joining. And I remember now a friend of mine that she always tells me this, thank you for joining. I don't know if she's watching now, but it was like some kind of inside joke. So yeah, I appreciate it, Romana, that you're joining and watching. So back again to the topic of guilt. We all have issues, and we did mistakes in our lives. And we must have gone through this, or we wouldn't grow. So whatever your age now, think back and see, what did you do 10, 25 years ago? And of course we did mistakes, but we keep ruminating about these mistakes, and we keep projecting that on our present. And the problem sometimes, these kind of feeling that hinders us from moving forward. It's like we feel that we don't deserve to have any good. It's okay to, it's like we punish ourselves. Like, I deserve to be in that spot, in that sad, miserable spot, because I did so and so, or such and such years ago. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Romana, for your kind words. So we kind of like don't want to forgive ourselves. We feel that it's wrong to forgive ourselves. Like, we can't forgive anyone except ourselves. And we keep beating ourselves down because that went wrong, or I should have behaved differently. Or sometimes I hear, like, sometimes, especially with I hear it from a lot of female clients. It's like they are in a setting and they feel that if they say anything or participate with any conversation, they feel guilty. They go back and ruminate, did I say the right thing? This person looked at me that way, or that person responded to me this way. Did I do something? And they start, ruminating about it and thinking about it over and over and over. Sometimes clearly there is an issue, or someone wronged you, but you still feel guilty about it. And there is a deeper issue here that we need to look at. Why we feel guilty about this or that? What's behind it? What's underneath it? What about your self-esteem, your self-worth, how you feel about yourself? How are you forgiving to yourself? What did you learn from your childhood about forgiveness? Do you think inherently that you are a good person or not? Do you think that you are worthy of forgiveness? Do you think that you are worthy of a good life? Do you think you are worthy of good things happen to you in your life? Because if you don't, then you're actually blocking yourself from receiving anything good. So if we feel deep inside that we are not worthy of love, we are not worthy of something good in our life, and we feel guilty about it, and even if we receive something good, that we continuously feel guilty, then there is a deeper issue that we need to really dig through and see what's going on there. And if anything makes you constantly feeling guilty, rest assured that you shouldn't be feeling this way. No one should be feeling miserable all the time, whether for an apparent reason or for something you don't know what is it. I think it's important for us to take a deep look and think that we deserve to be happy, to feel that joy, that we are alive, we have a lot of blessings. But even sometimes, even when we count so many blessings, we still default to the sense of guilt. Look closely at your family of origin and see how did you function then? How did your parents? And here I'm not at all blaming any parents, or not at all. Our parents raise us to the best of their abilities, but no one is perfect, so they did mistakes. Definitely they did. So you want to take a close look and see what were the patterns in your life when you were younger. How did your mother deal with mistakes? How did your father deal with this? How did they deal with each other? What happened? The communication, the criticism. What did you hear? What did you internalize? And I think in some of this work, you will need a therapist to help you through this. Because I think it's important to understand the underlying issues in order for you to move forward. So let me know what you think about this subject. This is a subject that it's very, very common. People feel guilty about anything. And you shouldn't be feeling bad about that. I'm the only one who's feeling that way. A lot of people do feel that guilty. Excuse me. about so many things in life, even if it's not their mistake. So, and sometimes this guilt feeling blinds us. It blinds us from seeing the truth, from seeing what's really happening. We keep blaming ourselves for someone else's fault. And it's so important to take responsibility of our own part. But you should not be taking responsibility of someone else's part. Are you able to differentiate and be consistent with your own part, and let everyone take responsibility of their own, and relinquish that load that you have on your shoulder? Again, we are all human beings and we do mistakes. Are you ready to forgive yourself? To be kind, compassionate to yourself? Because sometimes we tend to be compassionate and kind to others, and we forget that we deserve that as well. So I think, so I have a couple of points here to help, those are general points, of course, to help overcome or deal with the guilt feeling. So I talked about taking responsibility of your part of the issue, and accept it, feel the feeling, and move forward. It's okay, I did a mistake. Yeah, I can be mad, I can be sad, I feel like, oh my God, how did I do this? Like sometimes I think of stuff like happened to me way back, like when I was in middle school. And my daughter now graduated college, so you know that this was a while ago. So, and I feel, how did I do that? Why did I say this to this person? Or why didn't I defend myself? There's another issue sometimes. Sometimes when we don't defend ourselves, we feel guilty. So someone says something, or there's a certain incident happened, and you just keep quiet. And then afterwards, you feel guilty about not defending yourself, or keeping quiet, and then you feel that I am weak and I cannot defend myself and I am not strong enough, and then you start spiraling. So it's important to understand that this is a pattern. This is a pattern that it's happening. See if it's consistent. Do you usually do that? What's the impact of that on you? Again, I think it's important to understand that we should not be struggling alone. These feelings of turmoil that happen inside of us, the anxiety, the sense that you're putting yourselves down, the guilt, the negativity, I think we should not be sitting with this. We need to let it out. Talking to a therapist, journaling, listening to something that will lift you up, whatever works for you. It is important not to neglect these feelings, because it will impact our daily lives. It will impact the way we look at ourselves, and then it will affect our loved ones. So let me give you an example. If you feel guilty and you feel down and negative about something, and you are not in a good mood, and then your child comes to ask you a question, you're down, you don't want to really talk, you dismiss it, or say later, whatever, or maybe you get mad. So see, that will impact other people, will impact you and impact your loved ones. Imagine if you're happy and positive and smiling. So if your child or your spouse come to you to talk to you, then you are open to talk, and you have more patience, and you can be more maybe understanding. So this is impactful, and we need to recognize what are the patterns, including guilt, that we have in our lives that's affecting us and affecting people around us, affecting our sense of self, our worthiness, our achievement, the motivation for life. How, when you wake up in the morning, what is the first feeling you have? What is it? Is it happiness and gratefulness, or is it this load on the shoulder? And I cannot just claim that we will be happy all the time, or we can be positive all the time, but we need to be aware. We need to be ready to really manage those negative feelings. because they will come. Are we able to manage these negative feelings in an effective, positive way? That then eventually we can turn it around. Maybe sometimes you have a support system, like a friend or a close family member or a therapist or someone that we can talk to, and we can really make sense of things. So we talked about taking responsibility. And the second point is to rethink your expectations. Are we putting really unrealistic expectations of yourself or others? Are you? Are you pushing yourself too hard without really realizing and acknowledging the time and energy and the circumstances? So maybe you need to revisit your expectations. You want to examine the evidence. Are you really guilty of all of what you say that you're guilty about? Write it down. Maybe you are guilty of 40%. Maybe you are guilty of 30%. Maybe you need to revisit the whole story and really remember the details, so you can really feel you know exactly what happened and take responsibility only of your own part. Accept it, feel it, live it, and move on. But we cannot move on if we don't accept the feeling, no matter how strong the feeling is. The feelings are, those are our core, who we are, how we are with others. It's important. If we don't acknowledge that, then we are neglecting and negating important part of ourselves. Are you doing that to yourself? We want to embrace imperfection. No one is going to be perfect. We're going to do mistakes. As long as we're alive, we're going to do mistakes. Are we able to accept this fact and move forward and forgive ourselves for what happened before, what we did or didn't do, and acknowledge the lesson? Because we don't want to do the same mistake again. Or sometimes we repeat the same mistake again, but maybe in a different way. But acknowledge, is there any improvement? Instead of beating yourself down. So I think it's important to look at these points and try to be merciful and compassionate to ourselves. Are we responding to other people's expectations of us, which is so hard, so high, and so draining, and we cannot take it anymore? Do we have the courage and the bravery to tell someone, well, I really cannot do that anymore. I really need maybe more time. Or maybe I can do half of it, not all of it. Are we able to be true to ourselves and be brave and strong enough and to tap into our own power, inner strength, and declare that, listen, I cannot take this anymore, or I want to do this, or I don't want to do it anymore? Are we able to do this? It's important to understand our own capacities, limitations, and don't feel guilty about them. This is the way I am. Maybe I was able to do stuff or more things 10 years ago. Now I'm unable to. It's just too much. I was able to, when my daughter was younger, I was able to pick her out of school after I go to work, and then drive hours to take her to this activity, do that activity, and stay late at night until I get everything done and do everything. I cannot do that now. Am I gonna accept this? Am I gonna accept this fact that I will not be able to do this at this capacity, or maybe I need to change it or tweak it? So think about this and respect. We want to respect our abilities. We want to expect what we can do and what we cannot do, and we want to be able to say no and not to feel guilty about it. So one thing is to appreciate yourself and all that you do. Do you appreciate yourself? Or do we always walk around with this guilt feeling? We're guilty about this and this and this. Do we really appreciate? Count what you do every day. Like pick a day, and see what you did to everyone else throughout the day. Do you appreciate yourself about what you were doing, or you feel guilty about it because, oh, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, but I did not do 5. So you're gonna just forget what you did, all the good things you did, and you're gonna focus only on number 5. In this case, we are not being fair to ourselves. We are not. See how you can improve the roles within your family system. How you can accept that what you do or what you cannot do. Maybe you want to delegate some of the responsibilities without feeling guilty about it. And you might want to think about the black and white thinking. So it's not a black and white, it's not right or wrong. There are a lot of gray areas in between, and you might want to pick another shade of gray to live by. So you want to really take a close look and see what works and what doesn't work. You want to also finally look at, this is the final note I have here, you want to look at the emotion underneath this guilt. Do you have anger? You are intimidated? You have resentment, sadness, whatever it is. What do you have? What kind of a feeling do you feel underneath that guilt? And acknowledge it. There's always something else deeper. You want to dig deeper and see what is it, why you feel this way, and how you can make it better. No one will make it better for you except for yourself. You need to make that change. You deserve to feel better. You deserve to be happier. You deserve to let go of these shackles that's really limiting you. Are you ready to do that? To let go of the guilt and the pain and move forward from it. It's limiting you. It's limiting your energy, your potential, your happiness, your love. Because every one of us has this amazing ability inside of us to shine. And when we feel guilty all the time, we will not be able to shine. Don't let any guilt or anyone curb your shine. Shine to the max of your ability, to your potential. Don't let anyone dim your light. Don't let any negative emotion stop you from being happy and successful. If you need to contact me at the end of this movie, if you like it, please hit like and share it. And I will download it onto my YouTube video so you can watch it there. Please subscribe and share. I'm sure someone needs to listen to this. We all need. Sometimes I go back, and when I feel down, I go back and I listen to some of the videos I made, or someone else, or my friends, because some of the issues that we really need to listen to, and to remind ourselves and others that you are worthy and you deserve to be happy and successful. So if you would like to contact me, please do so. You have my, you can go to my website, rebabalma.com, or through Facebook, Rebab Alma Counseling Services, Instagram. I will put all these links in the comment section. If you have any question or comment for me, please include it in the comment section. I will be happy to respond to you. If you have any suggestion for topics to discuss, please let me know. I will be happy to address them. And I wish everyone a wonderful evening, free of guilt and full of happiness and joy. Have a good night.